the comfy couch with me is someone who I adore. This is somebody who can talk while they work with very hot temperatures. Anytime somebody can do that, I'm a fan for life. Please join me in welcoming Benjamin Cobb, also known as Ben Cobb, Museum of Glass Hot Shop Director, and goblets are what we're here to talk about.
That's right.
Absolutely. Welcome back, my friends. So,
Thanks.
Goblet Week, this is the second year that we've done Goblet Week. Tell us what we need to know.
Goblet Week, let's see, next week, January 15 to 19, and we have about 4 different visiting artists coming through, and it was structured originally to sort of talk about the practice of making goblets. It was sort of in the Venetian-style,
Yes.
which was prevalent out here in the Northwest. And when I first moved here 23 years ago, there was a lot of people making goblets. And so the idea was to look at sort of the old guard and see how that information is sort of being passed down to younger makers. And so last year we had sort of the folks that were at the top of their game and sort of the first or second generation glass makers. And then this year it's kind of moving on to some younger makers. So we have Jennifer Elek, who will be there on Wednesday, Jason McDonald, hometown glassblower, and he's now out in North Carolina. He'll be here on Thursday.
Nice.
Michael Schunke will be here on Friday.
Okay.
Michael's from Massachusetts currently. And Jason Christian, another local glassmaker who's up in Seattle, and he'll join us on Saturday. Sunday, it will be the hot shop team, so it'll be us making goblets.
Yes.
And we have a wonderful lecture at 1 o'clock with Walter Lieberman, who will talk about the history of goblets with a Venetian theme to it, and then we'll actually pick one of the goblets from his lecture and we'll recreate it in the afternoon.
So why were those artists, those 4 that we saw, and some other ones, chosen to participate in this? What was it about them that you said, yes, we want you for the second annual Goblet Challenge?
So the idea is sort of looking at folks who were one sort of younger generation than the last year. And so the idea is looking at how the information or the techniques and processes were sort of passed down for people who are interested.
Right.
And making goblets is a challenge. It's incredibly difficult. There's a lot of parts involved, and it takes a lot of focus. And it's not everybody's thing to do, but it's a great demonstration. But it's a great thing to highlight in glassmaking.
It seems so simple to a casual observer when you look at a goblet, or when I look at a goblet. Like I think, oh, okay, yeah, stem and the cup, and that's a technical term.
Sure, I like it. We'll use that later.
You should use that. But it's got some real found techniques in it that is a part of learning how to blow glass. Is that correct?
Yes, there's a lot of little parts. So when you sort of dissect it, the diagram that you showed earlier is a great sort of breakdown of all the parts and pieces. But each one of those units, so the bowl and the little spindle shape at the bottom of the bowl is a separate piece of glass, and then the stem.
That's that
and then the foot
part.
Yep, the part. We also call it an avolio. So these are all sort of Venetian terms, but putting those things together takes a lot of skill, and it takes a good team to be coordinated to kind of do all those things. So to get the unit straight and standing up straight and usable, the other things that come into play are sort of the thinness of the cup, so like the mouthfeel when you go to use it, but also proportion. So from the bowl to the stem to the foot, having a well-proportioned piece of glass is a very difficult thing to do in the moment. And so the practice and repetition of those things, when you're working on that small scale, it teaches you a lot about making glass. So when you can make something very small and tight, it kind of, those skills translate in your other areas of making. So some people make goblets to stay sharp.
Okay.
to keep your hand skills and your eye sharp about, you know, making proportion and things in a meaningful way, and making it very intentional.
Ben, for many of us, as we live here, we've learned and we've grown with the Museum of Glass, and of course, the advent of Blown Away, which makes us all think that we could really do it, but we really can't. So speaking of that, what will visitors learn about glass making by attending the museum during Goblet Week? Because I look at that and go, oh, that's so simple, but I cannot tell you what's going on.
Sure. I think one of the things that I like for folks to come away with is the appreciation for handmade.
Yeah.
A lot of folks look at handmade glass and they wonder why it's so expensive and all these things, and it's, you know, it's all little things. It's not made.
It's the details.
It's the details.
Yeah.
And that's what a dear friend and maker of mine always talked about, was in making goblets in particular, it's about the details. So every last piece is sort of intentional. It has to be just right. So I want people to understand and appreciate the value of handmade and sort of the digital age that we live in.
Absolutely.
And I also think that it's a fast-paced demo. So typically making a goblet and be 10 to 20 minutes or
That's it?
yeah.
Wow.
So people can, you know, if they sit there for an hour, they might see a few made.
Right.
And I think it's a nice tempo.
Good baseline.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that reception on Saturday, January 18th. There's going to be a raffle, and we get to meet artists. What else do we need to know?
So there's a raffle. We've made a custom bottle with a label that's signed by all the visiting artists that'll go on there, and it'll be paired with a couple of goblets that we made in the hot shop. And that's a raffle item. And then the evening event from 5:30 to 7:30, and folks can buy tickets for that. And there's wine tasting, light bites, and the opportunity to purchase some of the goblets that were made during the week.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
now you're talking my language.
Yep. So all the artists will be in attendance, and hopefully a few that were there for from last year, and people come in and take a look at what's been made over the week and have the opportunity to take one home.
You told me something really special about the artists that you are so impressed with, and that's tell us what it is about them doing this work that just really touches you.
I think it's the idea of carrying on a tradition. So the Northwest being steeped in sort of the Venetian style of glass making, watching and having reverence for the history of glass making in Murano, and watching how it's sort of maybe tapering off over there, but it's sort of kept alive, especially in this region of the United States. And the idea of carrying on that tradition and passing it along to other makers, the education and sharing their passion with other folks. I think that's an important thing that the museum brings, giving folks the opportunity to come and witness and learn.
Ben, I'll see you on the 18th.
Sweet.
Thank you so much for bringing all of this beauty and grace and education to us. And I think that goblets are the wave of the future, so I'll be picking mine out on the 18th.
All right. Look forward to it.
When we come back after just a little bit of musical chairs, we will have the fabulous Jessica Johnson and Kwabi Amoa Forson in the house. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back.